Welcome to the 6th lesson of SmartKnitter, Knit Instructions Level 2. In this class, we will explain the excess floats in the panel, using cases to demonstrate the troubleshooting and solutions. This panel has a fully fashioned collar with partial knitting to create the shoulders, using body yarn for cast-off. Let's translate to see the issue. After knitting the left shoulder, feeder 3 is brought to the right with floats and tucks to knit the finishing section of the cast-off on the right. The feeder is then taken back to the left with floats and tucks to knit the left cast-off section, resulting in 2 long floats within the panel. To find the image area, copy the left cast-off section and paste it under the original position. Clear the original section and remove the empty lines. Feeder 3 knits the left cast-off, then move to the right, then knits the right side, with no float appearing in the middle. Let's look at another example. This is an example of split setup. Feeder 5 is brought out of the knitting zone with floats before the back stitches on the left is transferred to the front to avoid collision. Hover over the transfer symbols and press F12. This is the line that causes the issue. Select that row and change the backstitch to backstitch, then transfer to front symbol. Retranslate, and we can see that the back stitch is immediately transferred to front and feeder 5 is not brought out to avoid collision. Let's look at another example. This panel is a tubular jacquard with partial knitting. After translation, we can see feeder 3 is doing a lot of tucks. As the panel involves partial knitting, we need to consider the direction of feeders when they are brought into the panel. Click Feeder Setup and check the feeder properties. As the direction of feeder 3 and 4 are not defined, the default is on the left. Let's define feeder 3 to the right, feeder 4 to the left, and retranslate. There is no more unnecessary tucks and floats, indicating the correct feeder directions. Let's look at another example. This is an example of partial jacquard. There are many unnecessary tucks. If we want to have partial jacquard with float backing, assign a separate zone for the pattern. Go to the zone display mode and assign a new zone number to the pattern area. Arrange the feeders accordingly. Save changes. Then return to feeder setting again. Right-click on the Zone 2 area and select Float Backing. Retranslate, and the issue is resolved. This is an example for intarsia. We don't see different colors in the color mode, but the panel is divided into different zones to represent different feeders. Feeder 3 and 5 has a lot of floats with tucks. Modify the zone layer. Change the last row of Zone 5 to Zone 1. After modification, return to the Knit Structure interface for retranslate. Feeder 5 knits, then Feeder 3 knits, with no floats appearing in the panel. Let's look at another jacquard example. After translation, there are 2 rows of floats with tucks with Feeder 3 and 5 in the setup section. Return to the SmartGraph interface to examine the zones. As the setup section is not in jacquard structure, it should not share the same zone number with the jacquard body. Change the zone number of the setup section to Zone 2. The setup section shares the same yarn as the jacquard body, thus we put the new feeder to Feeder 3. Issue is resolved. This marks the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.